Been talking a lot about the new addition to the Mame machine. I got the lights off so you can see that the top has a marquee. It's lit up. I'll turn them on here in a second. But the main deal was getting PlayStation 2 to work with this bad boy. I've already got a bunch of other platforms like the arcade emulator, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I mean, these are pretty self-explanatory. Nintendo 64, the Segas, regular PlayStation 1, Atari, etc. But the main challenge here was all of these games would pretty much play with pretty low PC specs. You really don't need any, you don't need any power under the hood to make these work. But PS2, that's a challenge right there. So this took a lot of work. I had to upgrade the power supply, and that was a little bit of a challenge. Had to, I'm going to turn on another light. I had to upgrade the graphics card, obviously, because PS2's way, it's still, you've got to have some pretty good specs on your computer to be able to handle PS2 games emulated. So that required some upgrade of that, and it needed some RAM as well. And that whole list of requirements caused me to have to basically rebuild this machine. And so we're gonna head to the back. That's the side art I put on there, the Star Wars. I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. I'm not really a Star Wars geek at all. I don't collect the action figures and that shit. But we're going to go ahead and lift off the back and take a quick look at the guts inside. And so what we got here is starting with the power supply. The one that was there wasn't adequate enough to power the graphics card. We've got a lot of cable spaghetti going on back here, but yeah, we had to do that. And this motherboard's a slightly unique HP motherboard. In the sense that it doesn't take a normal ATX connection. So I had to get an adapter, and you can see that right here. I had to adapt this standard connector to a slimline connector that you probably aren't going to be able to see, but it's kind of a, I don't want to say proprietary to HP, but anyways, that was found online, and it was done well. Luckily for me, it's kind of hard to see, but there's the graphics card. That is a GT640 DDR5 1GB NVIDIA graphics card, low profile. It was initially purchased because of its low profile specs. The plan was to get PCI extender ribbon cables so that I could lie this card down flat, because you obviously see, or maybe you can't see, but it can't clear sitting straight up and down. This right here, it can't slide underneath. It's the card's too tall. That didn't work. So word to the wise, if you're going to buy PCI port extenders so that you can, extend the thing so you can lie the card down flat and have it connected to a ribbon instead of straight on the motherboard, be wary of who you buy them from. There's a lot of really poor quality stuff out there. And got an excellent deal. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but I got an excellent deal on these RAM chips. 4 gigabytes of, I want to say it's PC4200 DDR2 RAM. Could be wrong about that, I'm going off memory, but 4 gig, $25 delivered, and it's actually rebranded Mushkin RAM. So it's a good, high-quality RAM. I ran this before I got the RAM with just the graphics card and the power supply, and I was still having lag problems. As soon as I dropped this RAM in, lag problems are almost gone. So this is the tour of the guts of the back of the machine. If you're wondering what all this is actually a flat screen monitor that's been disassembled so that it could be placed inside the case in a more traditional arcade manner. So it was adapted over, and yes, there is string holding that up because I haven't really been able to find a way to mount this piece, which is kind of hanging in a better way. I've tried glue, it doesn't work. And it would probably require a little too much work to try to figure out a way to mount that securely, but this machine has gone through hours and hours of play, and we've never had a problem. So, although it looks ghetto, it is what it is. So, the back goes back on, and hopefully this won't fall down while I'm doing this. And as you can see, the genius that built this figured that pegboard would be, sorry for the camera view, pegboard would be a great way to relieve the heat. So this thing doesn't really require a lot of fans, and for those of you that don't know, it's basically a PC dressed up to look like an arcade machine, and the specs on that PC are not very impressive. I did all the artwork, all the overlays and everything to make it look nice. Now for the treat at hand, the PS2. So let's fire it up. We got a list of games. Some of them look better than others. That has mainly to do with how they're emulated. And but anyways, I found I actually own arcade. Midway Arcade Treasures 3, and so I ROM'd this out and put it on a ROM to run on this, and the games are really incredible. Requires a little, there it goes. So it starts up, make that full screen. And I also purchased a USB to PS2 controller adapter, because I have many PS2 controllers just lying around. So this adapter took a little bit of work, but once you get it rolling, you can connect up to 2 PS2 controllers through USB. I know that they make USB controllers that are clones of the PlayStation controllers. So you could go either way. You can go straight USB, or you can just take your old controllers and adapt them. This thing was about $5 shipped on eBay, and it works fine. I know it's probably not the highest quality, but here's our disc, and this is probably one of my favorite games, is Rush Rock. This game looks incredible for the graphics. We're going to select it. The graphics are just incredibly well displayed, and this game is just a ton of fun. Every now and then we get a little bit of aspect problems, and then it self-adjusts. So I think we're just going to go start. I'm going to try to do something real quick for you guys, but keep in mind there's no PlayStation disc in here. This is all emulated stuff I've got saved. So we're just going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to pick whatever car comes up. It's not going to be easy for me to try to steer and show you guys what I got, but while I'm filming, but you get the point. Because the analog stick's on the other side, so it's a little further away from my thumb. But here you go. And this is pretty darn cool. This is like really being in the arcade back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Actually, I think this game might be a little younger than that. But to have this emulated on a I would say average to below average spec PC, and being able to make it work even with PS2 is pretty damn impressive. I don't think there are any PS3 emulators, but if there are, if you wanted to make them work and play some of the PlayStation 3 games, you're going to need some ridiculously high specs to catch up to that machine. PS2 is still a great platform, and I'm about to crash. No, maybe not. well, I think you guys have gotten a good enough fill, so this is just incredible. And you know, to make your games into ROMs is actually easier than you guys think. You really just need one program and the PlayStation 2 disc that you own, and you can basically just hit, you know, a setting on the program, and it's free online, and you can turn your games into ROMs, and they will play in your emulator. So you could be playing your PlayStation 2 games on your computer. And if you have a decent enough computer, you can play them with no lag like this game is. Alright, we're going to go back. And I'm going to quit. And I do the D-pad. Quit again. Let's see if we can. This is kind of this escape for whatever reason back. Wow, it actually worked. Escape back to the front end. Usually doesn't work that well. For some reason it did. I'll show you guys one more and then we'll head out. Yes, if you see that, that's SOCOM, and yes, it does work just fine. Probably one you guys would really like to see is this one, Ace Combat. So we'll see if we can make this presentable on camera, and then we will say goodbye. There we go. And it's a pretty big game, so it takes a minute to load. Encourage it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it takes a minute. I don't know. Some of the opening stuff doesn't, for whatever reason, come on the screen. So, just gotta start a new game. Normal, all that stuff. We're just gonna cruise right through all this. And I'm gonna skip all that. But there's the opening scenes, and talk about an addictive game right here. Hello, Nurse. Try to skip faster as this video's been kind of long. Take a jet. I'm not sure what's going on with the lines. I know there's a setting to get rid of those, but right now it's playing pretty well. And there we go. I can look out the jet, or I can fly around. Shoot a missile, whatever I gotta do. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a machine I'm very proud of. I wouldn't at all classify myself as some type of Mame expert, but I do know a little bit about computers, and I'm really proud of this machine. I know there are people out there with much more advanced, much more sophisticated machines out there you guys control my video all you want and say how you're much better. Coming from someone that grew up in the 80s and played a lot of these games, especially some of the old Mame games, I've considered myself very fortunate to have something like this at my house. And ever since I bought it, we have just been having a blast, me and my two roommates, and every house guest that comes over gravitates towards this, and because we have so many emulated games on it, they find something that they want to play, and we just have a blast. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want one, I know someone that can pretty much put one of these together for you and then advise you as to how to get your games on it. Hit me up if you're that interested. Take care.